Better watch what you say online, or Big Sister Mary Poppins over there is going to rat you out to the feds. More fallout over Joe Biden's Orwellian plan to police free speech in America and set up something called a Disinformation Governance Board, which allows them to crack down on whatever ideas they think are harmful ahead of the midterms. The White House defending the new misinformation czar, even though she's a liberal activist who claimed the Hunter Biden laptop story was fake news.
We have just established a Mis- and Disinformation Governance Board in the Department of Homeland Security to more effectively combat this threat, not only to election security, but to our homeland security.
This new report that the Department of Homeland Security is setting up a Disinformation Governance Board to tackle misinformation ahead of the midterms. Secretary Mayorkas said that part of its intention was to tackle misinformation in Hispanic communities especially. Can you give us an idea of what this board is going to be doing, what their authority would look like?
Sure, Jackie. I really haven't dug into this exactly. I mean, we of course support this effort, but let me see if I can get more specifics. We know that there has been a range of disinfo out there about a range of topics. I mean, including COVID, for example, and also elections and eligibility, but I will check and see if there's more specifics.
Information laundering is really quite ferocious. It's when a huckster takes some lies and makes them sound precocious by saying them in Congress or a mainstream outlet. So disinformation's origins are slightly less atrocious. It's how you hide a little lie. It's how you hide a little lie. It's how you hide a little lie. When Rudy Giuliani shared bad intel from Ukraine, or when TikTok influencers say COVID can cause pain. They're laundering disinfo, and we really should take note and not support their lies with our wallet, voice, or vote. Oh!
This is a person who doesn't say mom. She says birth person. She also says Twitter is for cis-normative white males. So she's a woke bot.
We need to add to the regime slogans in George Orwell's 1984. You know, we have war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. Now I think we need to add to that censorship is democracy, because that seems to be the argument here. They say we need to save democracy by censorship, by protecting people from disinformation. Of course, the point is who gets to decide what is the disinformation. It's the people whose opinions and the arguments and the ideology that they want to impose on everyone else. That's what we've seen time after time. And the real point here is that actually, if you look at the evolution of this idea, it shows you just how far left things go and how far in an authoritarian direction things go when you can't even really believe it's happening. I think it was a few months ago, this idea was advocated by the New York Times, and we all looked at it and said, that's crazy. They can't possibly mean something like that. That's not going to happen. And now here it is. And worse than that, the actual person, as you just noted, who's going to be put in charge of this is someone who herself has pushed disinformation during the election by branding the Hunter Biden laptop as Russian disinformation. I mean, the whole thing is an example of how once you try to start to impose rules about what is fair and accurate and not misinformation, what is real, none of that can be done by some centralized authority. That's the whole point of the First Amendment.